Welcome everyone. This is Rekha Korup and you are watching live on She Stands Tall Project Instagram account. And this is okay. So and this is a third in the video series on the 8 metamorphic pit stops. We began exploring them days back, and today is dark moon, the first dark moon, the first Amavasya of this year 2021, and it is again opening up a new moon cycle, a new beginning, a new rebirth, and movement through the rhythms movement. So we are right now in the being gateway. So you might experience that in your own psyche, in your mind. Your dreams might have become more vivid, especially for women, because the rhythms are they are so in our body that it can really open up. And some of you might be in your bleeding cycle, or just moving towards your bleeding cycle, or emerging out of your bleeding cycle. And some of you might be in your ovulation cycle. Yeah, so all is wonderful, well, beautiful, great. So but be aware of how is it showing up in your body, in your emotional in your emotions, in your mind, in your psyche, in the way you perceive the world right now. So today is a very its moon is in Sagittarius, and that is a powerful, because I said in one of my talks that moon is the queen and Sagittarius is the counselor, is the wise counsel to the king and the queen. And the queen and this council, they have a very wonderful relationship. They spend hours sitting with each other and talking and discussing and exploring the mysteries of this world. So today is a beautiful day that way, because the moon is in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. So so that's hi Rakhi, wonderful to have you back. So I was just saying that today is the moon is in Sagittarius, so the queen and Jupiter are in council today. So it's a day of deep mysteries and mystics, and this discussion about who am I, and they are exploring. It's that, so that aspect in your own psyche, in your own life, those reflections are very powerful and important, and it opens up a gateway. And that is how we are meeting this year. The first dark moon is in Sagittarius. The queen is with the court council, the wise, the wisdom teacher. And the queen and the wisdom teachers are sitting together in their chambers and having these deep mystic conversations. Yeah, how would that be? What is that for you and in you? So the last 2 days we really looked at the 8 metamorphic pit stops, and how they show up in our life, and how in every aspect of our life these metamorphic pit stops exist. And I wanted to show this image here. I have shared this, so I'm just going to show it to you on my laptop so you can see it. Here is that image which I have shared. So here is the dark rhythm, the being space marked in blue. From the being space we move into the being to doing, slowly growing, learning, preparing. That is spring. And then you again continue into the doing space. Yes, it's, with summer or the peak day, noon, and then you again transition into the doing to being, resting, letting things go, leave you, and come back to doing. So we are right now here. Today is here in the somewhere here. Yeah, in the actually here, Jan, Capricorn. No? We are somewhere here, and the dark moon. So this is where we are, and this movement. So you can see the 8 metamorphic pit stops here, right? I don't say numbers. I'm not saying numbers because there is no beginning and end to this in one way, because it's a circle. And in every phase, these 8 points exist. In every point, these 8 points exists. And so this is a cyclic, this is forever in movement, in flux. And also each of these colors, they also have certain elements which dominate. Like when you come here, the night, this is midnight. If you look at a day, this is our 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. gateway. To really rest and go to deep sleep, your body needs to become heavy. And so the earth element really needs to dominate here. And that is when you can sleep. If the mind is very active, which is the subtlest, it is very difficult to come back to rest. So how do you shift that gateway? How do you come back to your body? That is most key every day from 9 p.m., making the transition. And then in the morning when you wake up, this is the morning. 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. you may wake up around this time. Some people might wake up here, some may wake up here, some may wake up here. Whenever you wake up, this time is actually, this is if you take winter, snow caps, everything, ice becomes ice. And then here spring is when things start melting. Very similar in the day, water element. So nourish your water. Your body has done a lot of detox and cleansing the whole night, and it is parched when you wake up. So it's not eating you need to do first. You need to let water wash your system, clean all the toxins from your body. So there are different toxins which can sit on your tongue, your teeth, different parts of your body, your ears, all these, excretion, all this happens, and you need to nourish back water and have light food, light breakfast. We don't want to make it heavy because heaviness is already here. So you want to make it light so you can get up and move into this phase, which is about fire. Sun is out. So this is again a gateway. This is where you have your biggest meal, 11 to 1 p.m. or 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. depending upon the season. This is your biggest meal because fire outside and fire in your stomach is peak, and that aids digestion, supports digestion. So really nourish yourself, give yourself a good meal here. And seasonally eating, because when you eat seasonally, the rhythm is restored. Your cells remember their health and well-being and their movement, because everyone is coded into the rhythm. And then so this is fire element is dominant here, and then from here when you move here, air element dominates. The mind becomes overactive, can become overactive. So all the activities have to, if you move too much, also the mind. So this is also a very powerful gateway of air. In autumn, the air comes, wind comes, and it lets everything, leaves fall down, so all those letting go of the mind, all those activities need to happen here. And then again from air element, the switches to earth. So that is why they say, it is said that when you are moving closer and closer towards the night, stop mind activity, calm your air, calm your things so that you come back to your body, sitting with family, touch calms the air. And then you enter into earth element and you can go to sleep. So these are also the elements which are connected to these 4 quadrants, these 8 metamorphic pit stops. And so the 4 elements, there are 5 elements, which space is actually present, throughout, but space also elevates here. Autumn, winter is space. As we also know that earth and water is connected to the feminine qualities. It is connected to below the navel. All those downward movements. So for a woman, that is very key. That is where our ovaries, our uterus, our menstruation, everything is right there. And this, the fire is in our belly. And then when you come here and up, it is air. So fire is from navel to here. From here and up, you can have the air, the mind, the space, all of that sound, like all our senses are also here. And fire is what allows us to transition from one aspect to another. Without fire, we cannot transform. So when fire in emotions would be anger, pure anger, body burning sensation, bitterness, all these are very powerful emotions. Greed, jealousy, they are all also fire elements. When they come, they burn us, and then when you allow it to burn some aspect of us, something new emerges. But usually what happens is, as soon as fire comes, we indulge in it, and then the fire loses it. So even to hold fire and to develop the capacity to burn is also in the journey of evolution. It is what allows something new to come. Gold happens after it is burnt at very high temperature. Diamond happens when coal is crushed for thousands and millions of years under the earth, and then diamond comes. Everything is like that. A butterfly happens after caterpillar has to be completely destroyed. Almost it becomes mush inside, and then from there comes the butterfly. So that process of fire, and then it becomes butterfly. From caterpillar, earth, water, if you look at a caterpillar on the earth, it can't do much. It is so heavy, it moves slowly, and then through fire it becomes butterfly, light, and it flies. It is such a metaphor for transformation, evolution of life. And so that is so powerful. So these are happening, and in all of nature, every other existence in nature is made up of these 5 elements. Like this table that I have here is made up of, so it has more earth element which binds it together, and it is there. All the other elements are very less, but earth is its dominant aspect. So it is solid, it's grounded, it stays here, it is not shifting its shape, it just is solid, so every life is like that, and it is in its nature. So if something has earth dominant in nature, they act according to the nature of that element which is present and the interplay of the elements. It's only in the human mind, in the human existence, whatever, the evolution, or whatever you can say, it's a gift and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse that we have the ability to separate out. And we do that through our mind, our intellect, our memory, and our ego. Memory, the way human beings have, none of the other life forms have. What does that mean? Every point on our life we can remember. So we get pulled back. But every other life, if you look at a cow, can eat the same grass every day. It doesn't remember, oh my God, I had grass yesterday, even today grass, I need something different. It doesn't. It is in its nature. It doesn't remember yesterday. It has nothing like that. There's no remembrance. It is here, right now, here. So every moment is new, is fresh. Yeah, that is why even if you have pets at home, you misbehave, you're rude to them, but they will love you back unconditionally. They don't remember that yesterday you hit me, so today, I'm going to take revenge on you. I'm not going to be nice to you. They don't know that. Children are just the same. When we are children, we are just the same. We are here. So a child can look, baby looks at his hands, and it can stay there forever just looking at, what is this? It can be so fascinated. But as we grow, because we remember and we have the remembrance of the experience, we get bored. We are like, I want something new. I want something new. So this also is a blessing because it allows us to experience everything as separate from us. At the same time, it can also make us forget the truth of who we are. And that is where suffering enters, in the human consciousness. Actually, not even suffering. That is where disconnect enters, and this is a gift too. Imagine that, like I can see something, appreciate its beauty, And then I can create that to express that feeling that I have through something and say, this is what I felt. We have words that we use to express, and we can say that. And, look at the space I'm living in. I can create the space and decorate it the way I want. That is human conscious. That is also the gift of being human. We have this ability of self-expression, and we have this self-awareness. So the greatest gift of being human is self-awareness. The awareness of this body. Whoa, I have this body. So when I touch it, even if I don't touch it, I feel, I can know the outlines. I have this body. I breathe. So I'm not the breath even. Because I can feel my breath going to different parts of my body. I have awareness of my body. I see, I hear these sounds right now, this construction happening outside. The smell right now, because of incense burnt yesterday, still in the air of this room. And then there is taste in my mouth of my tea that was finished a while back, but there's still that taste is there. And even if it's not there, I can remember that tea and the taste comes back into my mouth. Yeah. And what else is there? Yeah, all the five senses, right? The sound, the sight. So this is happening all the time. And so because I can observe them, I'm really not it, because I can also watch it, experience it as separate from it. So something in me is experiencing that. And I can observe myself experiencing it. And in my mind, even as I'm speaking, there is something in me which is getting excited, which is excited, which is informing me, which is guiding me, my intellect, my intelligence, some form of intelligence, my faith. And I have memories flashing of friends, or when I look at these images, I have memories. All that is happening in this moment. And I'm also aware of sitting here in this role that She Stands Up project and Rekha Kurub, this name that I have to this body, and this personality that I am, or who, there's so much. And then I also allow myself to transcend all of that as I sit here and allow what needs to come with no judgments of it, what it is coming. There's no preparation when I do these things. It's a flow, and I have no judgments of it, what comes, and of making a mistake. So there's also all of that I'm seeing in this moment as I do all of this. So that is self-awareness. That awareness is the gift, And so my question, so when you learn about these 8 metamorphic pit stops, and what self-awareness as you move through it, how do I live it? How do I practice it? How do I show up in it? How can this information or what you're sharing, okay, nature is dark and light, and there are these 4 phases, there are 8 metaphoric pit stops, and every part of my body, my organs, every aspect is integrated and pulling all this, but then how do I show up in it? So I thought I would, share a few tips of these based on my own experience of my life and how I show up in it, and how I do not show up in it, and how that has, and what shows up when I am not able to, and how do I develop this quality of showing up in it? What does that mean? It's every day, every moment of showing up in self-awareness. That's the gift. That's the only gift of human life, is self-awareness, that you are here. That is it. If that self-awareness, you can grow, deepen, expand, explore, and be honest with it. Without judgments, you will meet life, your life, in a way that you are here. So I wanted to share some guidelines here. And so what's the first guideline here? Make room to rebirth into every new cycle. What does that mean? That means every day, every moon cycle, in every menstruation cycle, every seasonal cycle, every life cycle. And in each of these, how do I rebirth my body, my emotions, my psyche, my relationships, my creativity? How do I do that? How do I rebirth every cycle? What does that mean? And this is now, as adults, if you're listening, hearing this, all this is like, whoa, this is all new. Why was I not told about it? Then there is more effort. But if you are a parent and if you have a child at home, then it is so beautiful to teach the child to arrive into every day when, to go to sleep, to learn to teach them tools, to let go of the night. That means whatever happened today, whatever emotions that opened up for them, how can you teach them to really honor whatever showed up and to release it? And that tomorrow is a new day. So what is it that they need? Maybe they need a good cry. Maybe they need a good hug. They need someone to just sit with them and listen to them so they can unburden themselves, so that when they go to sleep and when they wake up next morning, when it's a new day. As an adult, you can start exploring that. What does it mean to have a good sleep? And so when you wake up today morning, every morning when you wake up, yesterday needs to feel far away. And there needs to be a lightness in the body. If there is no lightness when you wake up and you feel heavy and burdened, then know that a lot from past is weighing down on you and you have not been able to let it go. Then you slowly cultivate the habit of looking at it. What are these things I'm carrying? Can I look at it, unburden it, release it? And the evening gateway or those seasons, those interconnections support you. So make a list, make a journal of really tracking all the burdens you are carrying from childhood, from your life experiences, relationships, the pain, the hurt, they all, And then when you wake up, it's a new day. You're ready to meet this new day and you feel light when you wake up. So rebirthing. Not just every day, then every season, every blood cycle. How do you rebirth anew? So what that means, you have to really look at what is being carried forward. Because in nature's rhythm, there is, everything is met there and then. When you carry forward, it will keep pulling you back. So how can you release that? When I learned emotional freedom technique, we have something called as the personal peace procedure. So that we do it for ourselves. We encourage our clients to do it, and it is making a list of all the memories in your life or events or happenings in your life where there is a negative discharge, a negative charge to it, that you have not been able to let go. It creates an emotional disruption in your system. The minute you think of that memory, you are not here. It takes you into your amygdala. It takes you into your, the brain stem and the lower part of your brain, and you move away from the neocortex, or you move away from your cognition. So you keep writing them, and then you practice. You use EFT to release the energy disruptions. So this is such a practice, even to teach our children from a young age to do journaling, to see what they are carrying forward and how can they release it, who can they talk to, who can be their support. These are tools that schools need to teach. If you're sending your child outside to learn something, these are the things that everything else comes in life. Even otherwise, it can be learned. But being human, to really use all the faculties that I have, and why am I here? A child. So that is one. So making room to rebirth into every new cycle. That's not all. Then I have the second one, which is cultivate a systemic lens. Yeah, the insight of interbeing. And what does that mean? That means the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This is, I feel, the greatest gift that I received from my facilitation, beginners and advanced training in family system constellations with my teachers, Annie Kariappa and Colette Green, and of course the founder, Bert Hellinger. Systemic lens. What does it mean, systemic lens? Like anything that you see, it is not a standalone thing. It is interconnected to a whole lot. So when you see me, I am not just Rekha. I have my entire life, my ancestors, my parents, my grandparents, my sibling, everything is part of me. They are all in me in different ways. In whatever ways they've showed up, those imprints, those are part of me. I am a continuation of so much more than what you see. So when you see in a classroom, or in a school, when you see a child, when a child comes in, can the child come in with its systemic lens? Can you see the child? Can you see a person at your work in a systemically? That they are not just this employee of my company, but they are so much more. The housemaid that comes to your house to do your work, she's not just a housemaid. She might be a mother, a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, of a particular lineage, of a particular, her life is so much more. So when you look at someone like that, their behavior, their movements, how they connect with you, do not connect with you, all that is of so much significance, and there's so much sacredness to it. So to develop this lens of looking at life like that, and then you suddenly see this rhythm in such a powerful way. So there's so much depth, there's so much, but we live in a modern culture where when you go to work, we say separate, home separate. It is not possible. It doesn't exist like that. Everything is interconnected. So how can we create spaces which allow us to hold space for all of us as we walk into a space, that it is able to hold space for all of me and not just some part of me, so that I have to hide the others. And what does it mean to have a society which sees us like that? And that is in the old culture. My parents, they grew up in such a culture where everyone kind of knew everybody in their growing up life in Kerala. Even today, they cannot see anyone as separate. They wouldn't want to know about the lineage and the ancestral home, and then they know this person and all that informs this person's place there. And there's a connection, such a deep connection. And my mom always says that my generation and all the generations to come doesn't have it. We begin to see people individually and not in systemically. So creating that systemic lens, so that is one. And what is the next? Another guideline is here. It was, is, and will never be about right or wrong. Okay? So this is something really to see. It is not about right and wrong. This world, if you attended my, I'm seeing few people are here, so I hope you watched my videos of the rhythms. Where is right and wrong on this rhythm? Is dark? Is winter wrong? Is spring right? Or summer right? Or summer wrong and autumn right? Where is right and wrong on this rhythm? So where is right and wrong really? When in our mind, where is right and wrong? Who informs our right and wrong? Where does it come? And what is the place of right and wrong in our life? As children, we are told right and wrong so that we stay safe. But once the child needs to, instead of using right and wrong as a language, is it possible to teach a child as that safety? And why this is being told to the child. Otherwise, we all grow up in our own homes, and we have certain ways that things work in our home, and we are made to believe this is the way it is. This is right. So then you go out and you see others and you're saying, oh my God, they're wrong. This is not the way. This is what I was told. So we create so much confusion. Instead of that, this is how we do it in our house. Or this is how we are, this is what has been serving our family, but somebody could do it completely differently, and that's okay. How do we bring that? And, because more than right and wrong, this ability to really feel the other person and to have the other person feel you back. This sentence, Thomas Hubel, I heard it first time from Thomas Hubel, who does a lot of work in the field of collective trauma healing. And I feel you feel me. This is the experience we are all wanting in our life. To be felt by the other. When someone looks at us, we want their eyes to also include us. That you're seeing me, not seeing through me. You're seeing me. As a child looks at a parents and it wants to be seen. It's not in the words, it's in the feeling. And you can feel it when someone sees you, when someone holds space for you, all of you. Even if they cannot, but they are there, you can feel that. And so it is about that. That's what we seek. I want to feel you feel me. And I want you to feel me feel you. And then that we can feel connection. So this is another thing. To know that whenever you're going into right and wrong, this is right, this is wrong, whether it's political, religion, doesn't matter which area. It applies everywhere. There are no right and wrong. Donald Trump is not wrong. 74 million people of US voted for him and they all think he is right and they are right. So with right and wrong, you can never have a dialogue. You can never communicate and connect with right and wrong because everybody thinks they are right. Nobody thinks they are wrong. There's not a single person on this planet who thinks they are wrong. They know they are right. Yeah. So then there is no end to this. But it is not about right and wrong. It is about being to feel the other and have the other feel you back and to hold and meet in that connection. Yeah, so that is one to come back into this rhythm. And what else? This for me is the most important, and it showed up just in the way I was speaking the other day. It came up, even for me, it was a learning when I said, I care. I care. When we say, I don't care, no, I care. We care. We can choose to not care. But the truth of the matter is that I care. It is not possible. It is not built into the nature that there is no care. There is care. The truth is I care. You care. They care. We care. To not care is an impossibility of life. And so the question is when you say, I don't care, I don't care. We sometimes say that. Or you hear someone say that. Then you have to ask, some need. When I say I don't care, what I really want to say is you're not seeing me, you're not getting me. This need of mine is unmet and you are not really acknowledging that. So what is that? What is unmet, unseen, unacknowledged in you, and how can you find the language to express it to the other person? That is what is needed. Because take it for granted. I am telling you this from my own life experience. I care. And we are younger, when we are younger and we're in that less than 24 years of age, we feel like, I don't care, you do whatever, I can do whatever I want, and that kind of, I don't care. But that's not true, I don't care for my parents, they are mean, they are like that, I don't care who they are and what happens to them. But no, every time we say I don't care, we diminish our life force because it's not possible for us to not care, and it is not possible. So when you acknowledge I care, I'm choosing, I do care, but I'm choosing in this moment to not care because that feels lighter. But I know that there is work there that I need to do, that I have to meet. I'm carrying it. So whenever you say that, also be aware. So self-awareness of your truth and your lies, very important in the human consciousness, because we are the only ones who lie. No, nothing else in nature finds any need to lie because they are in nature. They have no sense of right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. In the human consciousness, we lie because we feel we will lose love. If I say the truth, you will no longer love me. Yeah, so this is something I have heard from my own teacher, my guru, His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankar. He used to say that whenever there is a battle between truth and love, love will win and we will lie because we don't want to be hurt. We don't want to lose love, so we lie. It is easier. Yeah, so that is, so what all have we covered but till now? First is to making room to rebirth. Every day, every season, every moon cycle. How do I do that in my body? What does it mean to rebirth fully? Yeah, to die and to be reborn fully. Yeah, and cultivate a systemic lens, and it is not about right or wrong. I care. And this is another very, very important aspect, which is your relationship to words. Words that you think, words that you say, words that you do not say, but it's still there. It is the most powerful thing, because all manifestation begins in sound. All manifestation, yeah. In space is the subtlest of all elements, and space is connected to the sense of sound. So anything that needs to come into the earth element first begins as sound. That is why in almost every religion, the earliest words are, there was silence and then God spoke, or the sound came. So sound is the very beginning of anything getting manifested. So every word that you think, you say, you speak, it is informing what will show up for you. It shifts your perception. When you say, God, he's so cranky, or she's so cranky, or my child, you can already say that your perception has shifted. They may not be cranky. They're just, little restless. So what are the words you're using? It informs. So that is where it begins, from sound, to sensation, subtlest, and then to be able to perceive something, and then it goes in the fire, then flow, and finally it manifests. So sound, that is why in the Indian, in our script, the sounds they are connected to Saraswati. Saraswati is the beginning, Sattva. So it is connected to mind and space, air and ether. From there sound comes, and then finally it relates. So creativity is not connected to the creative aspect, is actually connected to the subtlest aspect. Yeah, finally comes the earth and the water. So your words are very powerful. What words you use, know that you are making that happen. Even if it's not there, you have given a direction to move there. So now how do I shift it? So refining your words, what you say, how you say it, when you say it, where you say it, to whom you say it, shifts the manifestation. It has an impact on the ground reality, how the reality will meet you. And this is kind of connected to also the law of attraction in some ways. So, but sound and words are very, very powerful and profound. Yeah. So refine your relationship to words. Then, most important, this is my last, there are two more, because this will lead to the next one. And this one is, live your life in this body, in your breath. Not in your mind, in your fantasies, in your dreams, in your perceptions, in your memories, in your identities. Come back to your body. Every time all hell breaks loose, breathe. Come back to the body. This is the space. You're here. Because body and your breath are here. They are here. That is life. That is connecting you here. And you are here. It brings you back here. So then come back. So you can begin by, just touching your body. So that, really brings that sensation back into the body. Yeah. Bring that smell. Nourish the smell. So, it takes, smell is connected to earth element. Taste is connected to water element. Everything brings you back into the body. Yeah. Even close your eyes and you look inside. If you're going to look out and do this, it is not going to have much effect. So slowly train yourself to close your eyes. Eyes are fire. They take you out, So you're also going in, calming the fire, learning to close the eyes, going inwards. coming back to the body. Put your feet on the ground. If a disconnect is too much, go and walk on earth, literal earth. Hold a stone, hold wood, anything that has come from nature. Place honey on your tongue, and all that brings you back. Listen to some soothing music, and that again, through the years, you again come back here into the body. So coming back, live your life here, and it's okay, we'll venture here and there. Come back. It is coming back home. So developing this quality again and again. You don't need to go through trainings. You don't need to do all that. As children, teach your child. You learn yourself. It's something that even if you may go to training, if you don't cultivate this, it is not going to be of any use to you. You might be teaching it and bringing it in others' lives, but it's not going to be part of your life. So this is where you need to begin it. And the last one, and the most important one, is, I want to show it written down, is this. To not suffer is not an option. Yeah. Suffering, suffering. Suffering is built into human existence. Yeah. Do not let anybody believe you or support you to get rid of suffering, because then you become a sociopath, a psychopath, emotionally stunted. You are not even able to be in your body. Yeah. Do not let anyone take away your suffering. Your suffering is what? The pain, the guilt, the regret, all this drama of humanity, that we have this ability because of a self-awareness. Let your suffering inform you. Slowly, as your nervous system expands, and all the earlier things that I said, as you start getting more and more founded in all of that, you're able to hold space for your suffering. Yeah, the pain of feeling, the pain of this body. In this body, there is pain. Being in this body, pain. So that is another capacity we build, to hold pain in the body. Yeah, instead of trying to have painkillers, there is no pain killing. Actually, it's pain inhibiting. That's all we are doing. Pain is there. Our brain is told there is no pain, but it is there. It is a deception. It is like everything else is a deception. Painkillers are the greatest deception. It takes away the ability of holding fire. Tapas, it is called. Holding fire, burning. That it takes away. But to hold, so that is the fire quality I spoke about earlier. But to suffer, build your capacity. So suffering comes from the trauma, that we have, the things that we are carrying that we have not processed, and let it go. So make a big room. Let your suffering inform your question, who am I? And increase your capacity. Your nervous system is designed to hold nature in it. Yeah. So build that capacity. So learn tools and practices. And I feel all the previous guidelines, agreements that I gave, as we start refining them, going deeper in them, our ability to hold suffering in this body deepens. And it is important to hold space for suffering and to give it a place, a rightful place in our life, because then it allows us to recognize it in the other. It nurtures compassion in us. And it is very important, because I see many times, even in spiritual paths and spiritual organizations and religion, there is this huge movement. Yoga wisdom has become a huge movement of getting rid of suffering. And then you see people who have no capacity to connect with you. They have no capacity, no tolerance for suffering, no compassion. And that is such a loss. It is not a human being anymore. It has become very artificial. Nature, when you learn to surrender to nature, the suffering eases. You're able to be aware of it. It's our self-awareness that is the cause of suffering. If you're going to take away that, then it is, and people say, oh, because I'm so self-aware, no, if your self-awareness cannot take away your compassion. Something is off there. The ego has become strong. It is when you don't have compassion, when you're not able to really have compassion and patience, that means there is, you moved away from nature, you moved away from God, you moved away from divinity. So these are some of the things that I wanted to share. And so as you start practicing the rhythms, as you start making room for these 8 metamorphic pit stops and creating your own rituals, whatever they may be, there's something very deep opens up in being human, and I feel it's such a gift. It moves me so deeply even to just comprehend that. It's such a gift to be in this human body. We need to refine ourselves. There is no need to protect nature. There is no need to protect human life. If we can just, other life, if we learn to refine who we are and going back here, we are no longer a threat to anybody. We are the threat to everything else here on earth. So we will be the ones finally who will need to be eliminated, not anything else, right? So we are the block. So we have to refine ourselves. So keep coming back to that. So that is what I wanted to share, and hope it was valuable. And it's valuable for me. So so thank you so much for listening, and maybe really show up in being human. And because it all begins with me. It is all in me. What I see is also in me. It's all in me. There is only in me, and that is where I have to keep going back and shifting and transforming. And then I'm able to see you. I'm able to see who you are and allow you just the way you are, even if I don't understand. Because I don't understand many things that emerge in me. So it's a mystery. So blessed be. May we show up on these 8 metamorphic pit stops, and maybe make room for who we are, all of who we are, that which we like and that which we do not like. So blessed be, and many, many blessings, and may our paths cross. Blessed be.